Dan and Corey here, welcoming you into Libservative.
The great fundamental issue now before our people. We, the people, cannot turn back.
Yeah, welcome in to another rousing Halloween episode of
Spooky
Libservative, intellectual idiots fostering political and cultural literacy, and the world's smartest internet show. Bell the Body Snatcher on the ones and twos. He, as always, is Corey Walsh.
He's Dan Griffin.
And we got a special episode for you, one that I'm not sure Corey can get through because he is absolutely enraged about one of our opening topics. I'm hoping we can calm him down before we get to that. He has not been able to let this go for the last 30 minutes. You will be very, very happy to know what exactly that is about. We've got
PG.
We've got Zoran Mamdani officially being endorsed by one of the godfathers of neoconservatism. So, as we talked about last week, Zoran Mamdani is going to fall in line, as all of these quote-unquote progressives do. And Rand Paul. Man, anybody that hates Rand Paul is a snowflake at this point. Sorry to say. People melting down over what Rand Paul is doing over there, the only adult in the room in the Senate. We have meltdowns over the East Wing renovation, which is hilarious. And SNAP benefits about to be shut off. So what are the states going to do?
Oh, well, some states are going to actually do pretty well, and other states are going to be like, fuck.
I actually have a silver lining to SNAP benefits being shut off that I think you guys will be interested to hear.
I do have some things to say about that as well, Dan. That's a good topic to have.
Cool. We got the NBA gambling scandal. Got the NBA gambling scandal if we ever get to that. Why is it always basketball? I'll tell you exactly why it's always basketball. And I don't know what do you remember when Kanye did that episode with Alex Jones where he was wearing the mask?
Yes.
It was really fucking weird. I don't know what he was on during that episode, but I think Candace Owens might be on the same shit.
She's getting there.
She's making for some pretty decent entertainment. But first, Katy Perry and Justin Trudeau are dating, just in case anybody didn't know. Does that not sound like, yeah, absolutely.
If anyone can save the American-Canadian relationships after that terrible Reagan ad, it's Katy Perry.
And Justin Trudeau. Does that not seem like a Manchurian union? To me, it seems like a
seems like a match made in heaven, Dan.
It seems like a union the Church of Scientology would set up. Just two handsome, privileged airheads with absolutely nothing to offer. I will say this. I really hope Katy Perry...
2006? Is this Nick Lachey and Jessica Simpson?
More or less, yeah. Except Nick Lachey might be the smartest of the four. I will say this. I really hope that Katy Perry knocks up Justin Trudeau very soon so that we can see what their handsome demon children look like.
I think, and you said that the way you wanted to, didn't you?
I said what I said.
You did not get those words minced.
and off we go. Prince Andrew blown out. Absolutely blown out of the royal family. If that doesn't tell you that he did something, knowing all the skeletons in that royal family's closet, that should tell you something.
Yeah, I have some footage from the king, actually.
You do?
Outside, nerd. Get out. Go. I ain't got time to be distracted by your worthless chime in. It's gone.
You want to know something funny?
I'm not sure why he doesn't have a British accent, but
it's about what the king sounds like most days, I think. And Stormy Daniels. I don't know if either of you guys or any of our listeners saw Stormy Daniels on, I think it was just like a local Chicago morning show. I don't know exactly, but I'm going to have Bell pull up this video here, and you are going to be astounded at the transition that Stormy Daniels has taken physically And no, God, Goom. Did she
seriously overweight?
Did she eat up the whole cereal aisle?
And he takes the fat shot drug.
With that money from the lawsuit, she bought Whole Foods and then ate Whole Foods.
Yeah, go ahead and roll. Yeah.
Breaking news. Corey's iCloud is now going to be freed up about a gig of memory. Now that I can't get this image of Stormy Daniels out of my face, out of my mind, I'm gonna have to remove all the movies I have that include her.
Oof.
I just paid $88.
Go ahead and roll the video, Bell. I think you're going to notice something else about Stormy Daniels when you see this played.
Anything is fair game.
So what made you decide to start doing the stand-up comedy or the, comedic storytelling?
Yes, that's a really great question, and I answer at the top of my show every night because everyone's like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
First of all, I'm too old to go to the other kind of nightclubs that still work. My knees are tired.
You're not just too old, honey.
Damage that happens. But
seriously
to be quite
overweight.
honest, it's because when I wrote my book, it was a book that I had been working on for like 15, 20 years. Just crazy stories that happened to me being on the road as a burlesque dancer and all these things. And then when the scandal happened, the publisher really just wanted to focus on that, and they cut out so many.
See, in the clips that they're showing on the show, she doesn't look big. Does she?
Part of it is I wanted to get these stories out, and I learned from the first book that people don't always read.
So how quickly did she put on all that weight?
It's not clickbait. They're not reading it. And the other thing is, like,
all right, you can stop it, Belle.
I get to tell my story in my voice and answer my questions because I can't tell you how many.
I already forgot what I was going to ask.
And why is she the only celebrity in the world that hasn't discovered Ozempic?
I don't know. Why?
And he takes the fat shot drug.
She's
She
46.
discovered it. She's hiding it in her cheeks like a little chipmunk.
Oh gosh, I think the extra weight.
7 minutes into the show, and it's just fat shaming an ex porn star. But I'm gonna bring it back. You ready?
No.
What I find amazing about the current, never mind.
Is that she's a strong woman?
Well, she's got to be.
Well, now she does. Now she do.
But I'm not here to. I'm not going to sit here and
shit, buddy. I got to dig a little deeper.
But what I am going to say is hilarious that they dog shit on Trump for porn stars and models who were naked and talking about decorum and morals and stuff with Trump. But then they will back and bring a girl with empowerment and give her the whole talk show tour.
I don't know if she got a tour.
As an ex porn star who made a living doing the things that everyone disparages Trump for.
Yeah, maybe you go down on her, dude. Don't be selfish. Don't be sexist.
And because she doesn't like Trump, that's it. If she was a Trump supporter, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, this porn star."
Honestly, I always did kind of feel bad for her because I feel like she was.
Well, yeah,
I feel like
even the
I feel like she was. I feel like she was dragged. Yeah, I feel like she was dragged into that bullshit where they're like, "Oh, you could probably sue him and get some money."
And she was probably assaulted, sexually,
shamed
by Trump.
Shamed.
But yeah, no, I find it interesting. That,
she admitted she wasn't assaulted. She admitted she was not.
Wait,
yeah, she said it was consensual.
She's the one that wrote the book.
Yeah.
Tiny pepperoni pizzas on pepperoni pizza. That's the part that sticks
out
to me.
I just paid $88.
One of the parts that leaked was after they did the deed, Trump ordered pizza with pizza bites on it, little pizzas on the pizza, and then sang a song about it.
I mean, you got to admit, pizza is a pretty fantastic post-coital meal. Yeah. You got a carb load after that.
And that also is a testament that there are so many women involved in Trump's life. And so many of them have accused him of sexual assault that I just assumed she was one of them. But I was wrong.
No, she did not. She did not. She said it was consensual.
That's even worse.
Got to give her that. Yeah, Prince Andrew, on the other hand, and we won't get into that. MTG's scheduled to go on The View on Election Day. What fucking world do we live in where Marjorie Taylor Greene is invited on The View? It's probably going to be the best ratings they're going to pull
in a very long time, because I'll watch it. I'm ready for that. I'm ready for it. To them, they're going to play really nice, and she's going to play nice, and then there's going to be something. There's going to be
she's known to blow up.
Right, and then that's what I mean. Like, yeah, but you said this. Like, if they try to do some View shit.
Oh, dude, Whoopi is 100% going to try and like pull up. Well, you said these racist things. 100%. It's 5 squawking birds versus Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Versus that is squawking bird.
A celebrity death match from hell, and I'm actually from heaven, in my view. It's gonna be great. I think I might actually watch The View that day. Now let's get to the thing that Corey has like his face is already turning red over this. The wife of Stephen Miller, Katie Miller, was on Piers Morgan's show with Cenk Uygur. I don't know who the other gentleman was, and poor Jillian Michaels. She was on this panel too, and she's just sitting there.
She didn't say a word in the
listening to this absolute nonsense. Can we say that Piers Morgan is kind of like today's sort of like political Jerry Springer without the physical violence?
Oh yeah, everything that's going
it's generally
he's just like, hey guys, our ratings are bad. What if we just essentially take 2 cats that never met each other and throw them in a room and see what happens,
and starve them and see what happens? You got those videos, Bell. I don't know what order, because I didn't send these ones to you, so I don't know what order he sent them in. But I would play the longer one first.
For me, yeah.
The one where Katie Miller is.
The Daily Beast one first.
Basically, Cenk Uygur calls her and her husband a piece of shit, and she goes, "That's code for calling us Jews." It's absolute nonsense. This might be the dumbest woman on planet Earth. Honest to God. Like, she belongs on The View. She would fit right in. As far as intellect goes. Anyway, go ahead, Belle.
Yeah,
give her a roll.
Why is it that every time someone wants to criticize Mamdani, it immediately comes back to the Jews and the anti-Israel movement instead of actually talking about his viewpoints, which is that
nobody said Jews. You just said it. You always do that. We say Israel, you say Jews. We say Israel is a government. Please don't make it about Jewish Americans. And you come back and go, you have to make it about Jewish Americans. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
Is Israel a Jewish state? Yes or no?
Yeah. First of all, okay, so Saudi Arabia is a Muslim state, and you can criticize it all day long, all day long. There's no special protection.
Because what you're doing is you're decoding language
that calls themselves a Jewish state or a Muslim state.
And to say that we should not be here and we should not be in existence, and that you would be happy for other people like Mamdani to use it.
I want Israel to be safe.
Nothing of the sort.
Nonsense. You're totally lying.
Poor Jillian Michaels. Look at her. She's like, why am I here?
Completely and utterly lying.
Quite frankly, I'm really sick and tired of this racist, bigoted rhetoric that comes from people like you against my husband, against my family, and my children. I am raising Jewish children in this country.
Who brought your children into this? What a weirdo.
Piers, I'm going to be done with this if you're going to allow racist and bigoted attacks against one of your commentators just for the sake that he will not
hang on.
Speaking.
Casey, to be clear, he inserted
a line that says the Miller's lie. Is that not coded language for therefore we are Jewish? Come on, Piers. Where are you?
What?
Where are you standing?
God, you're so
Casey,
pathetic.
if I can speak.
If I can speak. He said, fire him, cancel him, America. Oh my God, Israel's feelings have been hurt. Why don't you work for this country?
Can we try and get
this country?
Yeah, you are a guest on my show, and I appreciate you coming on the show, and I like you coming on the show.
And I'm saying that two other guests on the show are welcome to participate in the
Jillian.
anti-Semitic attacks that is so permeating on CNN and MSNBC.
This is so ridiculous.
I'm
sorry. I have to jump in here. Somebody criticizing you personally is not an anti-Semitic attack. If somebody says that you are lying, that is not an attack on Jews, that is an attack on you. And just stop hiding behind identity. This is all the snowflake behavior that the right is supposedly criticizing the left for, that you're simply repeating here. Yes, Stephen Miller is a destructive force in American society. That is not an attack on Jews. That is no reference to his identity. This is an attack on him individually, and just deal with the merits of this case.
She didn't stop there.
Dude, and all right, so before we play the next one, just for context, when it comes to Cenk Uygur's like policies, like and his ideology, Dan, how often would you say we agree with them? 20% of the time, maybe 30, maybe even like 40.
Certain foreign policy stuff, maybe.
It kind of like starts to get muddy when it comes to like what we believe, when it comes to like the size of government, how much they should be involved in the markets, things like that. But this is probably the proudest moment I've ever had of him. Like, I just that woman.
Nothing has ever turned Corey into more of a misogynist than that video.
Oh my god, dude! Like. First off, what is one of the biggest things that turned us off from like being like leftists? It's just like the shield of identity politics getting in the way,
calling everybody a racist, and
placing the boat for everybody, right? And yeah, just muddying the waters of actual progress and these dog like not necessarily dog whistle, but like these conversation ending just attacks that like are just what would that be? That would not be what would that
you made a
right?
You made a point you made a point I didn't like, so you're a racist. That's basically what she did. Yeah, that's more or less. That's more or less. Can I point something out, by the way? Has anybody ever seen Katie Miller and AOC in the same room together? It is astonishing how similar they look.
I'm glad you said that, because when I was
and sound,
video, I was like, wow, yeah, they look and sound a lot alike. It's a psyop, Dan.
It's a fucking psyop, dude. You think Stephen Miller could ever get drunk enough and confuse AOC for his wife? No, she would start talking.
Yeah.
You would realize that they were different. Go ahead and play the second one, Belle. It's a much shorter video, but this is the part where Katie Miller, because she didn't like what Cenk had to say, she threatens to call her hubby to have his citizenship revoked.
I am calling the police.
What a Karen, dude. What an absolute Karen this bitch is. Go ahead, Belle.
Hold on.
Look at Jillian.
Hold on. So
you better
what
check your
happened in the
citizenship
Holocaust
application
and
and hope everything was
all
legally
the
and
pogroms were disgusting.
Just like Ilhan
That
Omar
doesn't
coming
mean
in.
that Israel. Hold on.
All right, that was it.
You better check your citizenship application.
Yeah.
So
if you didn't hear, she told him you better check your citizenship application. Now, here's why that matters. That matters because if you didn't know, Katie Miller's husband is Stephen Miller, and he's the one that's in charge of immigration right now, I believe, right?
No, he's not.
Like, what's his official title?
I can't remember what his he's an advisor in the Trump White House. I don't remember what his actual official title is. He means so little to me that I don't actually care. You can look it up if you want.
Homeland Security
Execute
Advisor.
Order
Homeland
66.
So Homeland Security does intertwine with immigration.
Sure.
Maybe that's how I got it confused. But
Yeah,
I knew that he had sway.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And to just be on some bullshit TV show where you're probably not even getting paid, you're just there for the airtime and ego, and you're sitting there and someone just calls you up because he doesn't agree with you and you threaten their way of life. Snowflake of the fucking year award right there, homie. Like, what the fuck? Like, oh, I didn't like what you said. It's like that's equivalent to someone scanning the QR code at work because they said that they think something about immigration different than they do and calling it like a hostile work environment or something.
Honey, he was mean to me. Deport him, please.
Yeah. Like, hey, baby,
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
I don't know. I'm too tired. Unless you give me a call.
I have to imagine that Katie and Stephen Miller's sex life is absolutely abysmal.
And he probably punches holes in drywall. No, she probably does. It's probably not even him. It's probably her.
She beats him up, so that's why he has to appear to be this fucking nationalist strongman all the time.
Yeah, she probably does. Like what's like I know it's from a movie, but also It's Always Sunny. Like if she's like, take the trash out, and he's like, I'm busy. And she just starts going like this. Starts
maybe you go down on her, dude. Don't be
bruises.
selfish. Don't be a sexist.
How many times in his life do you think he said, "Honey, please stop"?
He does.
More than once.
And he doesn't perform
Dude.
cunnilingus because he thinks it smells bad.
It's gross. He thinks it's gross. Like, ew.
Daddy, you're my daddy.
Dude, but yeah, no, like
It's
all of
actual
the,
audio from Stephen Miller to his wife.
all of the shit talking aside. What the fuck?
Do you feel better now? Do you feel better now that we got that out of the way? You got that off your chest?
Yeah, I definitely did most of the.
You got your annual misogyny against you're only misogynistic just against Stephen Miller's wife. That's it. It's like a one woman thing.
Yeah. For once in my life, when you hear misogynists go like, "Oh, we shouldn't have let women vote," and it's like, "Oh, you might be right."
The biggest load that we've seen.
Oh man, we could be days
And I'm
away.
usually the one calling you out for misogyny, and here I am, so upset with that woman.
Why? Because I fat shamed Stormy Daniels?
Oh, you did.
A little. I feel bad for her though. Gotta get some humor in there somewhere.
I feel bad for her shoes. Oh, okay, moving on.
We could be days away from war with Venezuela, and there's
Days
still
away
just
from war with Venezuela, days away with war from China, Russia.
We have an armada in the South Caribbean.
Hamas.
No big deal. Bell, did I tell me I sent you the Lindsey Graham video? Okay, he's got it pulled up already.
Yeah,
I couldn't
we're
remember if I
days
sent
away
that
from
one to
war
him.
with Hezbollah now. Damn.
And Lindsey Graham is going to tell you exactly why it is so important to have regime change in Venezuela. It's not for the obvious reason. Right. Well, I don't know. That's kind of a woke argument, but it's more or less because we got to show Russia and China how strong we are so that they, even though the Putin's already told Venezuela that they're on their own if anything happens, because they have no interest in Venezuela. China might have a little bit more. They don't have enough right now.
Yeah,
they don't have enough of it. Yeah, they'll sell them. They'll sell them weapons.
Now, corroborate this for me, Bell. But I think
Okay.
Russia also just let the Wagner group go over there. You know, the big scary Wagner group we were told about that the
Yeah, but they got wiped out. They got
Right,
wiped
but
out,
I
dude.
think that they're over there.
I think that might be bullshit.
No, but they might be because they might.
saw
be.
that in a
Russian
video
planes
once.
Listen, Russian planes have been landing. Big Russian cargo planes have been landing in Caracas over the past 48 hours.
They're gonna provide weaponry. They're gonna provide supplies, but they're not gonna put boots on the ground in Venezuela.
No, I was being funny when I said brown people, but no, that's a proxy.
You already have
listen to this headline and tell me what's wrong with it. Secret Russian cargo plane lands in Caracas. It's not very secret, is it? Like you're reporting about it.
Listen, the reason is to acquire stuff. Minerals, oil, whatever. It's the same shit that we've always seen. And we're being scared into believing that they're providing drugs to the United States, which they probably are in some degree.
But it's already been about the natural resources and oil though, because Maduro or whatever the guy's name is, I think it's Maduro, right?
Maduro, yes, yeah,
Maduro.
Yep.
Homie is he's offered minerals and oil and all that stuff to get sanctions raised. That if that's the shit that we wanted, and he was just gonna play ball with us, he would have elongated his political career.
Oh yeah, trying everything he can to stay in power, of course.
I still think that this whole attack is just trying to use leverage as a ploy against Russia.
Energy prices are going up. It might be a combination of both. I'll tell you what it's not, though. It's not about drugs. That we know for sure. It's absolutely not about drugs. There are Colombians on a. How long is the border between Venezuela and Colombia? It's something like 2,300 miles or something like that. They're ready. Brazilians are ready. So, like, this isn't just going to be like a, hey, let's roll in. We would absolutely wipe them out, but it wouldn't be like it's never going to be like you're not going to throw a bunch of bombs on Venezuela to take out the Maduro leadership. That's not going to work. You're going to have to put boots on the ground.
The border is almost 1,400 miles.
Defense
What did I say?
23.
2,200, but it's 2,200. 2,200. It's almost 2,300 kilometers. So.
Oh, maybe that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, because you always think in kilometers, huh?
I do. Well, that's probably just the number that I heard. But Lindsey Graham's going to tell us what the problem is. Go ahead and roll that Lindsey Graham video. Well, Corey looks up whatever he's looking at.
Defense News says heavy Russian cargo plane lands in Caracas. Zelensky, which is funny. Zelensky says Wagner Group presence in Venezuela is evidence of Russian meddling in other countries. Says man who won the election after someone was put in charge after a coup because another country was meddling in other countries.
All right, before I roll this video, I just want to say I read, bloggers are saying that the Wagner groups in Venezuela, Russian bloggers or whatever, but they're saying that nobody actually really knows this is just a plane that was in countries that the Wagner group was in. It could be bringing supplies for the Wagner group. The Wagner group could have been there for 6 months already. We don't know.
Fair enough. It's interesting. It's gonna be we're literally getting to like the point where how movies talk about just proxy corporatized wars. Like we're about to see the Wagner group, which is a private mercenary company, group. And then it's probably going to be like Blackwater.
Subsidized by the government.
Yeah. And then it's going to be like Blackwater, which is
private
mercenary group that's subsidized by our government. And it's just going to be, then both sides is going to go, what? They're not our guys. And then the other
all of a sudden,
right.
All of a sudden, Raytheon stock just goes through the roof.
Yeah, dude.
Make your investments now.
Two privatized mercenary groups just fighting in another country.
Well, there's mercenary groups from Colombia that are ready to go. Ooh, that's nasty. It's fucking. Ugh.
That's
Centipede.
wild to think about, though.
But Lindsey Graham's going to tell us. He's going to tell us why this is so important. Go ahead, Bill. This is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
The examples you're citing also involved ground troops. You said time for Maduro to go.
Yeah.
That sounds a lot like regime change. Are you talking about troops on the ground?
I'll let the president speak to that. I'm talking about a briefing that would expand military operations potentially from the sea to the land. It is time for Maduro to go. It was time for Ortega to go. The Monroe Doctrine has been robustly applied by President Trump. So these military assets are moving forward to deal with a country that's got blood on its hands when it comes to Americans by flooding our country with drugs from Venezuela and Colombia. So I hope Maduro would leave peacefully, but I don't think he's going to stay around much longer. I think President Trump is tired of Venezuela being used as a staging platform to poison.
He is such a queen. Oh, what happened? Was that all of it? Oh shit! I think I sent you the wrong one. I sent Bell the wrong fucking video. There was another one where Lindsey Graham said that Hezbollah is running out of money and is now offering support in Venezuela. I shit you not. This is an actual thing. I'm really disappointed in myself for sending Bell the wrong video. But that is another reason why we have to go into Venezuela to fight. We have to fight Hezbollah in Venezuela. We have to fight this tiny mercenary group from Lebanon. Oh, God.
What was he looking at the whole time he was talking?
Why does it always have to be
one of his handlers?
Why does it always have to be? Oh, you know what? I think I have it. I have the video. Let me go ahead and play it.
Yeah, go ahead and pull that up.
I'll play it on my end here.
And then, so the narrative is already right. The manufacturer consent is already being put in place, right? It's Hezbollah. Oh, it's
we got to scare you with the. We got to scare you with those dirty Muslims.
Right. They have to throw everything they can to try to scare you. They already have their person they're going to put in place. It's that Nobel Peace Prize winner. What's her name? Maria Corina Machado. She is saying how I hope this reinvigorates the international support for the cause of a democratic transition in Venezuela. She is all on board with this coup d'etat, so to speak. Like, all the pieces are being put in place for a coup attempt, for a regime change.
Here we go. Here's Lindsey Graham.
We didn't have a declaration to go into Panama. Bush 41 went into Panama to replace the leadership there because the Panamanian leadership were working with drug cartels to threaten our country. Reagan didn't have a declaration of war, congressional authorization to deal with Cuban influence. So this idea of Rand Paul, I just fundamentally disagree with. To the other senators, you deserve more information and you're going to get more information. But there is no requirement for Congress to declare war before the commander-in-chief can use force. Panama and Grenada are two examples in our backyard where Republican presidents chose to go after countries and leaders that were threatening our people.
But there seem to be a number of issues wound up in here. I know you personally used to serve as a judge advocate in the Air Force. We looked at the JAG
Listen to this evil laugh he's about to deliver to you.
Counter non-imminent threats is illegal under international law. So if we are not at war and these suspected criminals pose no threat of imminent violence, isn't this potentially a war crime to be killing the people on these boats and then to be taking out a leader?
Fuck you.
No, not at all. I don't know what manual you're referring to, but I know what President Bush 41 did. He took down Ortega, the leader of Panama, because he was involved in drug trafficking, threatening our country. Venezuela is now partnering with Hezbollah. Hezbollah is running out of money because Iran is weak.
That's not new.
Partnering with drug cartels in Venezuela. No, it should have stopped. Here's what's new.
I just can't.
You've got a commander-in-chief that's not going to put up with this crap. We're not going to sit on the sidelines and watch boats full of drugs come to our country.
Lindsey Graham get fired up before he goes and
kill the
sucks
people
some
that
dick.
want to poison America. And we're now going to expand operations, I think, to the land. So please be clear about...
Oh, crash the dildos back!
Donald Trump sees Venezuela and Colombia...
That was the program director chiming in.
You're gay! Narco-terrorist organizations. The leader of Venezuela is an indicted drug dealer in American courts. So, yeah, the game is changing when it comes to drug traffickers and drug cartels. We're going to use military force like we have in the past to protect our country. That's the new game we're playing, and I'm glad we're playing that game. And if I were Maduro, I'd find a way to leave before he goes down.
Let me ask you a question, Corey. When I'll just speak for our nation's history. When has war or like military force ever stopped drugs from coming into this country? I'll wait.
I can't think of any.
It's never happened because it doesn't fucking work.
No, it seems to increase. When I think about Afghanistan and I think about Vietnam and how opioids consumption increased in this country. So,
but man,
because
we're gonna roll in, we're gonna get that drug dealer Maduro.
Thousands of people into this country who are not having their baggage checked, who sometimes just don't get paid by their employer, the government. And then they fly back and forth a bunch. And then everyone's like, where's all this heroin coming from?
I would not be shocked if, and it's interesting because it's already kind of been set up this way, right? You have people like Lindsey Graham, you have the president himself and others talking about how things like fentanyl are flowing in through Venezuela.
They're not,
right?
though. It's coming.
Right. We know that. We know that. It's been debunked. It's been debunked a multitude of times. But they've already set that up to where now, when, because of a regime change war, because of military action, drugs do start flowing in from Venezuela. It's already been set up for that because it was already happening before. Like, you've already put that in the mind of mostly neoconservative Americans, of which there aren't that many left, thankfully. I'm really, really curious to see if this military action takes place. And according to at least one or two former military personnel, could take place as early as this coming week, by the time we do this next show. Or by the time we do our show next week.
Marjorie Taylor Greene on The View and the Venezuela coup.
Yeah. And I'll be really...
The View and the coup. We're already coming up with the name for it.
I'll be really curious to see how much support this actually has. Because there's a reason not a lot of people know this is happening. I mean, people that are involved like we are and pay attention to this kind of shit, or in this case, watch the Sunday news shows, because this was on Face the Nation. There's a few people who know that this is happening. But, I mean, how many Americans know that we're, like, on the verge of military action in Venezuela? I'd really be curious to know.
The government shutdown, and the West Wing is getting destroyed.
Yeah.
That's the East Wing.
Yeah.
Whatever. West Wing, East Wing, who gives a rat's ass?
We'll see. We'll talk about this a hell of a lot more next week, if in fact, not my prediction, but the prediction of a few former higher-ups in the United States military that still have some access.
Right. Well, what were those guys'
correct.
predictions on the Ukraine-Russia thing? Because we got that.
I don't know. I can't fucking go back. I can't go back that far. I can't go back 48 minutes.
Do it right now. Just go ahead and do it. Just do it real quick.
Do you know Bill Kristol is?
Search history.
Oh yeah, I can do that. Skate through all the porn.
You're gay.
The godfather of neoconservatism, Bill Kristol, has officially endorsed the communist Zoran Mamdani for New York City mayor. I shouldn't say official because it's not an official endorsement. But he did come out and say that he would vote, if he were a New Yorker, for Zoran Mamdani because going back to Cuomo would be just absolutely insane. Again, what world are we living in when the godfather, one of the godfathers at least, of the neoconservative movement says that he would vote for what is someone who is being called a socialist and also a jihadist, which those two things, as we've mentioned on the show multiple times, they just don't go together. Like you kind of have to be one or the other.
Right.
Bill Kristol has been giving off like self-hating conservative post-Trump vibes for a little while now. It's been kind of weird. And he's spent most of his time since Trump came to power rallying against populist conservatism, which is, I think, what much of the MAGA movement would consider themselves.
Right.
Populist conservatives. So it's to the point now where Bill Kristol appears to be embracing this sort of phony populism on the left, is almost as if he knows that it's not real, as a matter of rallying against Trump. I don't know what the hell is going on here. I'm so fucking confused by this. He's just been he's been so alienated by the populist conservative movement as the godfather of neoconservatism that he's just, I don't know, going where he might be embraced, which is the sort of limousine liberal, quasi neoliberal faction of the Democratic Party. It does kind of give off the vibe that I was talking about last week, where Zoran Mamdani is going to fall in line. That's what I took out of it.
Yeah.
What does Bill Kristol know that we don't know?
Right.
Everybody knows the buses aren't going to be free. So our Mom Donnie knows the buses aren't going to be free. Shit ain't possible.
No. Isn't the exit of rich people out of that city already like a big deal? And that's basically who pays all the taxes.
And that's why
New York has a very progressive tax system, right? Like
and that's kind of why Mom Donnie's going to have to fall in line. And we knew that. We knew that all along. Either it's going to become a socialist hellhole, or Zoran Mamdani falls in line. And if it becomes a socialist hellhole, New York City collapses. Zoran Mamdani's not that big of an idiot. He knows that. So does the endorsement of Bill Kristol, does it kind of, here's another question I'll ask, because here's kind of another angle to it. Does it show the level of Trump derangement syndrome that neocons truly have? TDS is not just a sleepwalking normie Democrat thing.
Yeah. And like, no, the TDS goes all across the ideological spectrum. Like, watch like Democrats embrace this.
Yeah. Here comes Bill Kristol. We got Bill Kristol
David
come back.
Duke came out and endorsed Gavin Newsom. The DNC would embrace it.
Is David Duke still alive? I haven't even heard him comment on anything in a long time. Bill, look that up. I'm actually
I don't
really
have
curious.
a subscription to the Daily Stormer.
You don't? Come on. Let's look at Corey's internet history. You are wearing that captain hat.
Yeah, he's
What
alive.
do captains have to do with?
Is he old? Is he old as fuck?
75.
Oh, he's not even that old. Okay.
No.
I thought he was like in his 90s.
Crazy.
You're
That's
thinking
how
of
much.
that guy who started the Westboro Baptist Church.
I don't know. No, I'm thinking of David Duke. I'm thinking of the former Grand Dragon of the KKK. That David Duke. The one and only. Yeah, I don't really have that much more to say about it, but like there's something afoot when the quote unquote socialist jihadist candidate is being embraced by the godfather of neoconservatism.
Yeah.
There's something there. There's something there. Keep an eye on New York.
There is something there.
There's something afoot. Ooh, ooh. It is Halloween. Ooh.
The veil is thin.
Rand Paul. This is not scary. Rand Paul today led the Senate in votes to overturn a bunch of Trump's tariff measures, to which he was backed by Mitch McConnell, probably because Mitch McConnell was asleep and some robot actually voted for him.
I have Mitch McConnell's most recent statements, actually.
Was Mitch McConnell obviously Rand Paul? Yep. Did he take another tumble down the stairs?
That's just the last
it was
time I heard talk.
This is Rand Paul, Mitch McConnell, Lisa Murkowski, and Susan Collins of Maine. So you're getting the typical dear leader faction of MAGA in an absolute meltdown. Primary everyone! We got to primary everyone! They're disloyal to the president. Even though the president's supposed to be loyal to you, you're not supposed to be loyal to him.
Deport him, then primary him.
Yeah. If you can't deport him, primary him. So it's so funny to me, right? Because
it's so crazy because that sounds like it would actually be like a right-wing motto.
What I find so dumb is these people defend tariffs the way that communists defend communism. Their arguments are all based on what's supposed to happen, quote unquote. And then when it doesn't work, they just say, it's because it wasn't done right. Am I wrong? That is the way that these people defend these tariffs. So
there was a ton of countries that were never communist because they didn't do it right.
Right. Of course, real communism's never been tried. Real socialism's never been tried. Yeah, that's called fictional socialism. Yeah, it's called fictional communism. It's not a real thing.
It reminds me of libertarianism.
In some ways, I guess.
Wait.
But
Why not, Dan? Because real libertarianism has never been tried.
No, I mean, kind of. It just wasn't called libertarianism back then.
Argentina did it, and then they had to get a bailout.
Yeah, that's way more complicated than that. You
right,
know
because
that.
real libertarianism has never been tried.
It has, just not since the term libertarianism has been coined. There have been truly free markets on this planet before, with very little government intervention. But what are the ways that these people always try to defend these tariffs? They always say, like, what are the good things that come from tariffs is the question you always ask. And they always give like 4 answers. One of them is job creation and wage growth. Well, that hasn't happened. In fact, there have been mass layoffs due to AI just in the last few days. And the next one is the reshoring of manufacturing. And this argument is the one that drives me the most insane because it isn't 1933. Manufacturing jobs are shitty. Offshoring them is a sign of economic growth and allows for your population to partake in more productive work. When you start offshoring shitty jobs, that is a sign of growth for your economy and for your nation. It's not necessarily a bad thing to offshore manufacturing jobs. By the way, we haven't seen that, by the way. Where are all the new manufacturing jobs?
I don't know.
Well, they're just not here yet. They're not here yet. The next one is reduction in trade deficits. Actually, I lied. This is the one that drives me the most insane because trade deficits are fucking meaningless.
Yeah.
All it means is that we import more from a country than we export to them. Population and demand are major factors.
Deficits don't mean shit.
They don't mean anything. We're paying for the product that we're bringing in.
Like if we're trading,
they're paying for the product that they're bringing in.
Like if there's a country that exports like a majority of the world's like cocoa or coffee beans, and no one else can grow them anywhere else, and that's the only thing we want from them, and the only thing they want from us is 300 pairs of shoes a year because it's all they can afford. Yeah, that's
even
a trade,
just even just overall trade
more from them than they're buying from us. That's a trade deficit. But
even just overall trade deficits based on population, like take a country like Canada, they're like 1/6 our size. Of course,
they're going to buy less from us than we buy from them.
Yeah, it's just
that. Sorry. Yeah, we're going to get less from them than they give us.
There's going to be a trade deficit there because of population size. And the last argument that they always give is substantial government revenue generation. This is debatable on its face, but even if it's true, yay, more money for the state to send off to fight foreign wars while you pay more for your Amazon purchases.
Right. I was gonna say it's not only that. Like, you're a fool to think that the cost of the production or the cost of the tariff isn't being incorporated into the price that is being given to the American person.
You're paying the tax. Oh, cool. The state gets more money on a tax that you ultimately paid.
Like, $100 widget from Timbuktu now has a 10% tariff on it. Guess what? That widget now costs $110.
No, it costs more than that because it's exponential through the supply chain. It's actually more than 10% by the time it gets to the end user. It's just 10% tariff at the port. That's another thing people don't understand. Is that like if you paid $1 for something yesterday and now there's a 10% tariff, it doesn't mean you're paying $1.10 today. You're paying more than $1.10. It gets passed up through the supply chain. Economically illiterate. And unfortunately, the President of the United States is also a little economically illiterate. Did you see this truth that he posted the other day?
No.
What was this? October 22nd, so a little over a week ago. He just wishes that the cattle ranchers would, quote unquote, understand. So here it is. I'm going to try to do it in the Trump voice. The cattle ranchers who I love don't understand that the only reason why they're doing so well for the first time in decades is because I put tariffs on cattle coming into the United States, including 50% tariff on Brazil. If it weren't for me, they would be doing just as they've been doing for the past 20 years. Terrible. Just terrible. It would be nice if they would understand that. But they also have to get their prices down because the consumer is a very big factor in my thinking also. That is one of the most economically illiterate truths or tweets or whatever that I've ever heard in my entire life. So let's just take this at like real face value, right? So he's putting tariffs on beef, which theoretically is not allowing as much beef from countries like Brazil to come in. Okay. So we also have, because of the way the beef market has been for so long, the least amount of cattle we've had, I want to say, in 51 years. You can fact check me on that one, Bell. It's been a long time. So you're reducing the amount of cattle coming into the country, the amount of beef coming into the country. What does that do? I know you know the economics behind this, Corey. What does that do to the supply of beef?
Oh, if you just introduce a bunch of
if you're reducing the amount of beef coming in from overseas or from other countries, what does that do to the supply?
Oh, it lowers the supply, raises the demand. That's easy.
Lowers the supply, raises the demand. You don't have enough cattle, and you expect cattle ranchers to just bring their prices down? You're the one who fucked with the supply by instituting tariffs on beef. You fucked up the supply.
Right.
So cattle ranchers are supposed to just give away the little beef that they're actually able to produce?
Thinking that cows would just multiply.
I don't know how long the gestation period of a cow is, but I know it's not just a couple of days. You don't just make beef. Well, Bill Gates could try. And in fact, he is trying in a lab. Yeah, right now, we don't have that yet.
But that's the thing, too, is like the logistics of all of the beef in our country. Like, it's like trying to say that the farmers are the ones that are dictating the price for the beef when it comes to beef, there's only like 6 or 7 major suppliers, like Kroger, Walmart, like all these people. They're the ones choosing the end price. You know what I mean? The whole food market and every
even big beef like Smithfield, like the actual big meat suppliers.
There's not a lot of small farms. It's all of these big conglomerates that own just a bunch of prairies all over the country.
And is it Thomas Massey that's trying to introduce legislation to make the regulation on regional beef less intense, to where like you and I, without the middlemen, can maybe start buying our beef from some we don't really have cattle ranchers in Michigan. I'm sure there might be a couple, but like we could cutting out those middlemen.
Right.
Because that's a big part of the problem.
I would be doing if I had a deep freezer. I would just be finding a farm and just buying a cow for the year.
You know what you do? You don't even need to buy a whole cow. You can buy half a cow. That will feed your family for an entire 8 months.
Yeah.
I've been looking into this. Marissa and I might actually do it next year. Fill that deep freezer with a bunch of beef. What do you got for us, Bell?
Actually, U.S. cattle inventory is the smallest it's been in 73 years.
73 years. I was wrong. I was off by 22 years.
Yeah, we've talked about this on the show before. Hawaii used to be one of the biggest exporters of beef in the country, but then things like the Jones Act and things like the Land Use Act have made farming there unaffordable. And because of that, that's one of the reasons why that fire that they had there was like extra bad, because it was a bunch of invasive grass.
But by all means, let's pay for a war in Venezuela. You know, like being the libertarian that I am, I've said this multiple times, right? Like I'm not a fan of government subsidies. I'm not a fan of the government collecting money from you and I and then handing it out as they see fit. I think if you just let people keep more of their money and you take away a lot of the regulation that people like cattle ranchers have to deal with, you're going to fix a lot of the economic problems. But if you're going to have a system where the government's stealing all of our money and redistributing it as they see fit, I'm a lot more comfortable with that money being redistributed here to people like subsidizing cattle ranchers or even SNAP benefits or even Medicaid. Like if I'm choosing the lesser of those two evils, I think it's obvious which one is the lesser of the two evils. Am I wrong?
Right.
That'd be a really good place to start. Like if we're going to subsidize, if we're going to collect a shit ton of taxes, let's ensure at least that the money is staying domestic. I don't think that's crazy. Instead of ending up in the fucking pockets of Raytheon and General Dynamics by starting new bullshit wars. Maybe I'm the crazy person.
You are. Get in line, Dan.
You got anything else you want to say about the this cattle situation or the economic illiteracy of our wonderful president of the United States? That's it? Okay, that's all you got. All right, we'll move on.
That's all I got. Sorry.
You're gay.
Sorry.
We'll get into something a little bit funnier. This East Wing renovation is making me laugh my ass off because actually, let me just ask you, how does this make you feel? Like, do you feel one way or another about this East Wing renovation?
When the construction is complete, if it doesn't look gaudy,
it will.
If it looks
It's
like
Trump.
it, right? But if it looks like it fits in with like the building originally, like the building itself isn't even original. There's been dozens and dozens of renovations. It caught on fire at one time. I think there was also another time where there was like a kitchen fire. Like
the Limey Brits burnt it down in 1812.
Yeah, that's the one I was getting at with them catching it on fire. But yeah, I mean, there's renovations. I don't know.
I feel like you're kind of in the same boat I'm in. Because like on the surface, I don't really care, but I will say that it's not a great look. It has a building a new palace while the peasants are starving in the street kind of vibe to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah, that does.
Especially with the SNAP benefits about to be cut off and what have you.
The East Wing was added in 1942. It doesn't even really have history. It was added while we were at war, and now it's being rebuilt while the government is shut down and we're about to be at war.
I thought it was added by Truman. I guess I could be wrong about that. But anyway.
This is AI. But it says the West Wing was added under
the East Wing.
No. The West Wing was added in 1902.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Theodore Roosevelt. While the East Wing was added in 1942 under President Franklin D. Roosevelt.
I think that's wrong.
You think that's wrong?
I do think that's wrong. Let's let Bell dig in a little bit deeper. I'm not up on my my White House construction history. But I will say about this renovation, it's all privately funded. Granted, by technocrats, so you could have a pretty solid claim to a conflict of interest here. Go ahead, Bell. What do you got for us?
So, Teddy Roosevelt built the initial East Terrace in 1902, and FDR created the modern East Wing in 1940.
That's what I was thinking of, because I thought it was older than that. But yeah, so that makes sense.
Who did the West Wing?
West Wing?
Well, now I'm curious.
It was Martin Sheen. All privately funded by technocrats.
Teddy Roosevelt. And then Taft expanded in 1909. FDR again in 1934 significantly expanded it. And then Nixon in 69.
69.
And then FDR built his little indoor pool for himself for his polio, allegedly. So he was doing all that.
And then Obama shows up and adds a fucking basketball hoop. What is that about?
FDR was doing all. You got to add on the fact that FDR was doing all that when he wasn't busy bloating the administrative state and setting our nation up to be run by oligarchs while setting up the middle class for destruction via the welfare state. FDR is the worst president.
I don't know.
Of all time.
Was there even a middle class pre-depression?
I said setting up the middle class.
Yes.
We are still dealing with the horrible policies of Franklin Delano Roosevelt to this day. But the reaction of this by the limousine liberals is so fucking tone deaf. And it is absolutely, it's cringe, but it's also hilarious because it's all the tweets are like Hillary Clinton tweeting out, he's desecrating the people's house. It's not like, oh, it's really bad optics because, SNAP benefits are about to be shut off. And it seems like, we're building a palace while
paying for a ballroom for themselves.
Right.
That's all
Yeah.
private donors or whatever.
He's desecrating the people's house. So let's get back into a little bit to the historical precedent, right? So you have TR built the West Terrace or the West Wing. You had Taft created the Executive Oval Office. You had Truman gutted the whole damn house, and it's kind of been a dump even since then. You had Nixon's bowling alley, which was also privately funded. And then you had Obama's basketball court, which wasn't really anything. I'm pretty sure he just converted the tennis courts into a basketball court.
I bought one of those removable hoops from the Walmart.
We can decide who the next president's going to be. Come over and play me one-on-one, Mitt.
Yeah, come on, Mitt.
It's just like the tone deafness of the limousine liberals for why this is so bad. Desecrating the people's house. Like, why don't you point out why it's actually bad optics?
Right.
Because they don't care. They don't actually care.
They don't care. And it's funny you say that because I was having a conversation with someone today and they were talking about how, and especially after that shit with Stephen Miller's wife and how, it seems to be, quite a bit of, Nazi-esque authoritarian dictatorship tendencies in this administration to where it's, out of control, right? Now,
mostly coming from Stephen Miller himself, but yeah.
Precedence has been set for a lot of this shit already by other presidents and stuff. But if it is really that, and it's not hyperbole, and that's really what's happening, then the Democratic Party is nothing more than controlled opposition.
Interesting thought.
Right? Because if it's really what's going on and the Democrats just aren't doing anything, then on the two ends of that conclusion is it's either controlled opposition and they're co-opted and they're they're actually on board because it's two wings of the same bird, or they are 100% completely so fucking inept that they're sitting there with their heads up their asses while this is happening.
I'm sensing, you said controlled opposition. I am sensing some coded language there. I am sensing
nothing coded. I'm saying
some
that
anti-Semitic coded language, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
Listen here, you goddamn son of a bitch. You get that shit out of here. I don't give a fuck. But right, if it's not hyperbole that is really what's happening, then you either have an inept other end of the two-party system that is literally fighting and doing and too busy worried about the little power that they have than they are about the American people, that they're just fighting people in their own party that might have a chance at winning and just letting it happen. And based on how
Obama and Larry Sinclair had a steaming love affair
happen, I would probably lean towards controlled opposition over ineptitude, even though it's probably a pleasant mix of both. Unpleasant mix of both.
Yeah. What do you think about this SNAP benefits thing, Corey? We're almost at 0 hour on SNAP benefits being shut off. Who knows? By the time a lot of people listen to this, maybe they work something out, but I doubt it. I will say this: the industry that I work in the food business. Right? I sell food to independent grocery stores, some of them being in lower income neighborhoods. And I'll tell you this: I had some customers skip some orders this week, especially in the more low-income areas, over fear of mass theft due to the food stamp shutoff, the SNAP benefits shutoff. And I don't know. I find that quite interesting.
It is. That's the first time I've heard of the government shutdown actually affecting like regular day-to-day people that live in like the private sector and don't work for the government.
Yeah, well, these stores have always relied on people that are on SNAP benefits to come in and buy their food.
Because it's also interesting to see that like some states are able to handle this and take the influx, like Michigan as an example, and that maybe, just maybe, we should let the states try to figure their own shit out and stop letting the federal government decide everything.
Corey, I am so glad you said that, because that was my thought exactly. As far as like a silver lining to SNAP benefits being shut off.
Here in Michigan, we don't need the federal government.
It's just more proof that the federal government is overbloated. Too many people rely on it. And as we know, like, that's by design. The more you rely on the federal government, the more loyal you are to it, the more you're likely to vote a certain way. It's like, this is all by design. But states being forced to take action. I think Bell sent us the article. Was it you or was it Bell sent us the article earlier today about the state of Michigan setting aside, was it $71 million?
Yeah.
For something like food assistance. It's almost like, wow, we don't need the federal government if we allow states to take care of their own shit.
What's crazy is, in all of this that's about to happen, it's going to be red states that get fucked the most. Those are some of the biggest welfare states.
Yeah, it seems like that's probably the case.
Oh,
and then...
man. And the blue states aren't going to blink because they can handle their own for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean...
This might get interesting.
I'm kind of curious how this is going to be played off because, depending on what side of the aisle depending on whether...
Because in the red states right now, because it hasn't really affected everyone, it's easy for everyone to just go, fucking Democrats aren't letting the fucking government open. But then all of a sudden, when SNAP benefits are getting shut off, and it's more blue states that spend more in federal money than receive, and they actually have their books more in the black, and then that the people who are receiving funding from the government in those states are going to keep getting their funding, and then all the people in the red states where their tax books are a little bit more like their fucking income sheets are way more fucked up. Because they rely way more on money from the federal government, and then their people aren't getting shit, and everyone in the blue states is like, we're good. Things will get really fucking interesting, won't they?
It's still gonna be really, really easy for Republicans to make it seem like this is the Democrats' fault. Like the Democrats are, I mean, it's both their faults. Like, let's not even try to pretend that it's not both of their faults that the government shut down. But I've said this is not the first time I'm saying this on the show. I love government shutdowns.
Dude, if the government
they
shouldn't be allowed to leave until they get it fixed. And if the government shuts down, there should be like a mandatory like election.
They at least
like, all of
shouldn't-
these people failed you. You guys need to have an election and fix this right now as the people.
They at least shouldn't receive a paycheck. Congress
Right.
still gets paid.
Yeah, they're all getting paid as thousands and if not millions of federal workers are getting furloughed.
That are mostly administrative bloat and need to go away anyway. But that's another discussion for another day.
Yeah, that's a completely different discussion. That's a discussion of what if and what it should be, not the reality that we're in now. And right now, millions of Americans are going to be going without paychecks while the people who decided to shut the government down because they can't play well with others are still getting paid.
Well, and it's also going to show like how the federal government is obviously, I don't think this is a surprise to anyone. It's the number one employer in Washington, D.C. And you are seeing some downstream effects
nationwide, huh?
I don't know about that.
If you count the military,
yeah, it's got to be.
And everything,
It's got to be. It's got to be. It's got to be. But in Washington D.C. in particular, how important it is to just the Washington D.C. economy. And I heard Sagar and Jetty talking the other day because he's a Washington D.C. guy, and I don't remember if he talked to this person or if he was like relaying another story, but somebody had talked to a barber in Washington, D.C., and they're like, yeah, I'm fucked. Like, I'm not making any money because nobody's getting their hair cut because nobody's going to work.
Right.
So it's like there really are downstream effects, and I get it, and it's good. It's painful, but the overall realization that like the government is just too big and we don't need 90% of it is showing its face.
The government, like when it comes to the personnel and the amount of people, it could probably almost stay the same size if it was just all relegated to the states, man.
Well, yeah, then you're talking about state governments, though,
And
which is fine.
Yeah.
Anything that reduces the power, the size, and the scope of the federal government, the thing that our founding fathers
like we have
rallied against forever.
As much as you and I are focused on the federal government, if everyone paid as much attention to their local government as they did their federal government, imagine if this podcast was just about Metro Detroit. Imagine if this podcast was just about city and state politics, because that is what has the lasting effect.
We would have zero listeners.
No, we wouldn't. What I'm saying is because if everyone paid attention to that shit versus the federal government.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what
we'd have a local following.
We'd
so
have a local
the hope is that one day we can be that.
Yeah.
We could talk to Charlie LaDuff like every week.
It's just, the federal government is just way too fucking big. And that's what's causing a majority of the division. That's what's causing, for example, government shutdowns. It's insane because states can't do that. It's in their constitution. They can't shut down.
Spilled on myself.
The federal government steps in, and that's the only time the federal government should be involved. That protecting our borders and mediating disputes between states, and just not necessarily manipulating, but keeping an eye and holding on to just the excess currency from in and out of the not even necessarily the Federal Reserve, but just backing the currency that is being used as a form of exchange between states and between consumers.
Well,
federal government should just back that. And
no, they shouldn't. That should be
unless
backed by gold.
I mean, if you go back to the gold standard, okay, but then ultimately, that would be very true. But there would still be a common form of currency that would be going across the borders, is what I'm saying. That someone needs to oversee that, just to be there to give faith in that bill that it is worth what people say it is.
Every state should have its own currency. I'm totally kidding.
That's one of the reasons why the Confederacy fell. And
I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding. You guys been keeping up on this this NBA gambling scandal?
No, actually, it has not come across my algorithms at all. I know that Chauncey Billups is involved.
Yep, he is a Detroit Pistons hero. He was my favorite player.
What the fuck does it with every single fucking basketball player that a name that you yell before you throw something in the trash, whether it's Chauncey or Kobe, they're either dying or they're like involved in like some criminal enterprise.
So you're saying LeBron James is safe.
Well, no one yells LeBron.
Exactly. So he's safe.
Well, I mean, you're
he's
right,
good to
but
go.
also no one yells Michael Jordan.
Well, that doesn't really have a ring.
They don't
to
yell
it.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Well, that's because he couldn't shoot. But I'm gonna have Bell play this video. I want to play this because I find it fucking hilarious. Kash Patel is such a goddamn dweeb. Like he drives me nuts. I want to talk about this thing, but I also want to point out what a distraction it is. It's almost like the FBI went, we can take down some NBA players for gambling. I think I have a plan for how we can make people forget about the Epstein files. You start fucking with American men's sports?
Yeah.
How to get all their eyes off the Epstein files. Go ahead and roll the video, Bell. What a fucking nerd.
But as you now know, individuals such as Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, and Terry Rozier were taken into custody today. Former, current NBA players and coaches. What you don't know is that this is an illegal gambling operation and sports rigging operation that spanned the course of years. The FBI led a coordinated takedown across 11 states to arrest over 30 individuals today responsible for this case, which is very much ongoing. Not only did we crack into the fraud that these perpetrators committed on the grand stage of the NBA, but we also entered and executed a system of justice against La Casa Nostra to include the Bonanno, Gambino, Genovese, and Lucchesi crime families. And you'll hear more about those details today. The charges and the arrests that were taken down across this country range from wire fraud, money laundering, extortion, robbery, illegal gambling. This FBI will leave no room for any perpetrator of crime across this country. But as you now know,
that is pretty insane that like families like the Gambinos and stuff are still involved like in the crime syndicate world. You know what I mean?
Did Kash Patel not sound in that video like he's just really bitter because all the jocks beat him up in high school? Like this is finally my chance to take down those fuckers that stuffed me in a locker.
He got beat up by the basketball team and the Italians.
Oh my god!
Yeah, he got beat up by basketball players and Italians, and he took them both out.
I mean, this is like does appear to be like a huge fraud scam. And it's honestly, man, it upsets me because it's not a great look for sports betting. Something that I'm actually a huge fan of. I enjoy sports betting. You know, I'm the guy who likes to throw a couple bucks on a game just to make it more fun.
Words for you.
No. I don't have an issue with what sports betting has become. Like, I don't like the fact that all of the leagues are tied into it. All of the like networks, ESPN has its own goddamn betting service.
Yeah. What I don't like about the whole thing is like if you study it and you pay attention to sports and you're taking like safe bets and you're like making a decent living, these platforms will drop you.
They'll take you out. Yeah, like I don't have an issue. It's funny you mention that because I don't have an issue with the idea of anybody, including Chauncey Billups and these other NBA players, trying to screw over the gambling sites and the casinos because of what they do to people. Casinos are a whole nother issue because it's essentially state-sponsored gambling, which I fucking can't stand. Like, I'm a fan of gambling. I'm a libertarian. I think you should be able to bet. I think you should be able to gamble without it being illegal. But the way that it's become corporatized and in the issue of casinos has become state-sponsored, I got an issue with that. And I don't have an issue with them trying to fuck over these big conglomerates. That's not what they're doing. They're defrauding anybody who placed a bet on the opposite side of what they're rigging, which could be me. That could have been me one day. I don't know if I bet on Terry Rozier.
It could have happened to you.
It could have happened to me. I wouldn't be surprised if I placed a bet on Terry Rozier's over-under for rebounds and lost if I'd bet the over on that. That's the issue that I have with it. So like this thing has been suspected for a long time in the NBA. You had Malik Beasley, who was a Detroit Piston also just last year. You had the Jonte Porter
Piston players, huh?
You had the Jonte Porter scandal. Gary Payton Jr. was suspected of shaving points. And then Terry Rozier, back in January, it was revealed that some of the this is back in January. It was revealed that some of the sports books stopped taking bets on Rozier's stats for a certain game. Because essentially all he was doing was he was taking money, faking an injury, so that anybody who bet the under on his points, his point totals or his rebound totals, if he comes out of the game after 9 minutes and his over-under on points that game, you know, he was one of the Charlotte Hornets' top scorers. I think he was averaging like 25 points a game. If the over-under on his points is 22.5, he comes out after 9 minutes. No fucking way he has 22.5 points. So that bet hits, and that's the issue. So
still hit like 18 and get a couple rebounds for the team to make yourself stay on the team, and then you drop out because someone went, "Hey yo, $1 million cash."
That would be right, and that would be a lot less obvious. But he didn't do that. He made it so obvious. You know, going into a game completely fine and faking an injury after 8 minutes. Like, this is the kind of shit that he was doing.
What an idiot.
It's one of the reasons why basketball of the four major sports is my least favorite.
It's like when you're sitting at a dinner table and you're like, "Hey, don't be obvious," but that table back there, like, I dated that chick in high school, and everyone goes like this.
Yeah, more or less. That's kind of what it's like.
What the fuck are you doing?
It's just it's a shame because it's always basketball. Basketball has been involved in point shaving scandals multiple times. There was the Boston College scandal. I think it was back in the 80s, where
it's probably harder to catch because it's such a high scoring, fast paced game.
It's that it's so easy to shave points, especially when you consider what these sports books do when they allow you to bet on the over under for points for an individual obscure player, the seventh man off the bench. Nobody's paying attention to that guy. If the over under for the seventh man on the bench is 3.5 rebounds, he rolls into a game, grabs a couple boards, and then basically stops trying to rebound the rest of the time he's in the game. Nobody fucking pays attention to that shit.
Right.
It's really easy to rig.
Yeah.
It's like, so easy to shave points.
Right. Like football, I feel like or like hockey even, you know, or even like I feel like that shit would just be way more noticeable.
Well, in football, pretty much the only guy that can shave points in a football game is the quarterback.
Right.
He's the only guy who touches the ball on every play. So yeah, in football, like a wide receiver is, you know, if they're over under for receiving yards, which is a bet that I place quite often, is 22.5. It's going to be really fucking obvious if they get to 18 yards and then fall down.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like you just, you can't do it.
And if
it's an incentive structure.
If they start dropping passes, he's going to get benched, you know, and that's just.
Right. So with the NBA, it's all about the incentive structure. And the thing that makes it so suspicious is Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, was the first one. He was the first one to publicly come out of the four major sports commissioners and say gambling should be legalized across the United States. It's a little bit suspicious, doesn't it? Isn't it? It's not. It's a really dark stain on the NBA. Like, there's no question about it. Drives me nuts.
Well, I guess that settles it. I'm watching the WNBA now. I'm not watching the NBA.
Well, you might not be because they might be going on strike for more money.
Well, they might get it because, like, yeah, Dan, they can't dunk, but their games might actually be actual games versus the NBA.
I don't know. I should check FanDuel. I think you can bet on WNBA games. They actually have more incentive to cheat than the NBA players do because they don't get paid. They don't get paid hardly anything. They have way more incentive to cheat. I don't know.
The NBA's whole structure too is weird, right? Like that's one of the only sports that like the way the structure is set up, like you can just join teams from high school.
No. That used to be the case.
Okay.
Now you have to be, I want to say it's 2 years out of high school. So what a lot of guys do now is instead of going to college, they'll go overseas for a couple years. That way they're overseas, they're playing pro ball. They're playing professional basketball. They're kind of getting used to the feeling of being a professional player, and then they'll enter the NBA draft.
Interesting.
There's a lot of guys that do that.
Did you know Matt Taibbi was on a pro basketball team for was it Chechnya or something like that? Hey Bell, look that up real quick. Look up
Matt Taibbi does not look like a basketball player.
Look up Matt Taibbi, pro basketball player, but I forget which country it was.
Badminton, maybe. I could see him playing that.
Oh, he played basketball. And it wasn't Russia, but
Mongolia.
it was like Mongolia.
Oh, Mongolia. Yeah.
Yeah, he played on a professional basketball team in Mongolia.
That's wild.
Yeah.
My God. I bet you he could shoot. Bet you had like 50 assists a game.
Right. Like it was probably insane.
I could just see him being a stereotypical like poor man's John Stockton.
Like I feel like some of those countries, like their top tier basketball players are like players we would run into if we wanted to go hop into a pickup game at like Stony or Belle Isle or Metro. You know what I mean?
They're really good.
Who?
Basketball's a global sport now.
I know, but what I'm saying, but like you could see talent. Like you can go down to Detroit right now, and you'll see players just fucking just looking really fucking good. It's like hockey players here too.
That statement that statement felt racist until you brought up hockey.
I mean, just like hockey here is just at a different level than like other countries. Like pickup hockey here, some of the people here playing in beer leagues is probably would just blow the doors off people who are like hockey players in like Kenya.
I would imagine so, because they probably can't skate.
They have a bobsled team though. Oh, that's Jamaica. Never mind.
That's Jamaica. Or was it the D2 Mighty Ducks? The team they played in the first round was from Trinidad and Tobago.
They blow the doors off them.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Anyway, I think I want to finish with this, which is I don't know. We mentioned it at the top of the show. I don't know what Kanye West was on when he was on with Alex Jones, but I think Candace Owens might be on it now. I got a couple videos that I want to have Bell play here. And I will say this. There are a lot of people that are pissed at Candace for some statements that she made about Charlie Kirk's death. She's losing her mind. And I kind of feel bad for her because you can tell that she's clearly upset about the death of her friend. Because it is very, very clear that Candace and Charlie were very, very close friends.
I feel like people get in these weird little loops, man. Like, yeah, like she mentioned it and it got a lot of clicks, and now she feels like she has to go down this rabbit hole to keep her clips up.
She's blaming people that were close to him for his death, that everybody betrayed Charlie.
Even his wife.
Like that's his. Yeah. I mean, it's a little bit offensive. A little bit offensive? It's remarkably offensive. And it's kind of offensive to Charlie's memory that you would be like accusing all of the people closest to him for betraying him like that.
Dan, right now, if I die in some mysterious way, I want you to do that.
I will do that. I'll do that for you. I will do that. I won't do it for Belle, though.
I want you to blame my wife. I want you to blame my son. I want you to blame Belle. I want you to blame Israel.
I'll take responsibility. I'll make it a whole thing.
I don't know what the first one is, Belle. Honestly, it doesn't matter what order you play these in, but go ahead and get that first one up. Every time I want to like Candace, I keep trying to like her. I really do. And then she does this stuff. I don't know. I really want to like her. And I always end up in a place where I kind of can't.
I'm telling you, I don't even think these people are human. Like I look at
Jesus Christ.
Elon Musk and Sam Altman and
Yeah, this is
Peter
great.
Thiel, and I'm pretty sure they're hybrid. You know what I mean? Like they just look like an Apple software that I should be able to download at night. You know, like my phone's getting an update or something. It's something in the eyes. Like I don't know. I'm like I know I'm human, but I don't know if I stabbed you if you bleed. You know, I'm not going to stab them, but I don't know if they bleed all the way. I think a battery would fall out. You know what I mean? And I just get that sense. I've always known it was demonic. And people just get on board because, as we talked about in this book, they are using science and this idea of technology and this idea of transforming society for the better to indoctrinate us into accepting this. And it's wrong and it's backwards. And the main component of all of this is psychology.
He's the new Alex
right?
Jones.
They're able to do it because of psychology, making you think that
Pretty
society has gotten
black
better.
Alex
Our kids
Jones.
have objectively gotten dumber. We've become fatter. We've
That's
become
true.
less
That's
healthy.
true.
We've become
That's
less
true.
Emotionally sound. And
That's
yet
true.
they are convincing us that this is like humanity's great leap forward. We put a man on the moon, and he just like called them up and was like, "Hey, press, what's up? I'm up here. Yeah, it's so cool. It's really great. It's nice. Starry night up here. Okay, I'm gonna text you. I gotta go by in 69." And they get these people, they tell you like he's a genius. They're all writing like he's a genius. So we should just accept that Elon Musk is a genius because like all the writers who are obviously indoctrinated into the occult
What is she
are telling us
talking
that
about?
this is the next person that we should worship. The establishment of Hollywood. It was all cults. They were all Aleister Crowley proteges who were just raping kids and summoning demons, and demons are real. So at the same time that they're summoning demons, they are making us all believe that faith is not real. And that has been, I think, the greatest trick that the devil ever played, right? Is making people think that he didn't exist and making people atheist, making people believe that there's nothing, like you're here for a moment in time, because then it allows them to further tether us to their reality and to their God, which is money, right? Well, if you truly knew and believed, like I do, I actually know that this is not it. Like I know this is not it.
She's so
But
narcissistic.
if you truly believed that, you
that
wouldn't sell your soul. People think that
she
that's
is
just like an
saying
expression.
these
Oh, he
wild
sold
ass
his soul.
things
No, you are literally selling your
hopes to,
soul.
like,
Like when you tell
be killed
lies
and that's
and
smarter.
you go down a path of lying because you're so afraid of not having the security of a paycheck, or you're willing to do something terrible to maintain that job, or keeping your mouth shut to maintain that job. We're seeing it right now with the Charlie Kirk case, right? You're selling your soul. Like there's a life after this. They have made you pledge your allegiance to their dollar because they know life is going on. They know that. They want you to literally sell them your soul. That's my personal belief. It's why I am religious. It's why I speak about my faith openly, because I just know if this is not it, and I just know these people are demons. Like I don't know. They just like look at the way they breathe. Like, you know what I mean? Same thing. I look at Sam Altman. I'm like, look, I don't know, but I know that's not he's like droid, obviously.
Okay. That is one of the most unhinged videos I have ever seen even Candace post.
Yeah, that's a rough
Because
watch.
here's the thing. First of all, half of it, I didn't even know what the fuck she was talking about. But she does this thing.
I'll tell you what she's talking about. She's talking about interdimensional space demons.
Interdimensional child molesters. She does this thing that, I mean, even Alex Jones doesn't do this. Because I don't think Alex Jones does. I mean, I don't watch Alex Jones to that degree.
She sounded awfully like Alex Jones to me.
Right.
The picture,
but, like,
it's the Anunnaki.
Yeah, what I'm saying is this. Does Alex Jones often talk about how religious he is? I don't think that he does do that. I mean, he does like the demonic thing and demons and interdimensional stuff and all that.
No,
I know he does that stuff.
His faith all the time.
Does he? I see. Like I don't pay close attention.
This is a fight enough of angels and demons. You know,
but
like,
I know she does this thing that like these weirdo Christian types do. And I don't have an issue with anybody being Christian. I support your faith. It's all good. I'm not like upset with you for being Christian, but the only explanation for everything that's bad in the world is demons. demonic, demons. Like if you use the word demonic more than once, I should even say just say once, but definitely more than once in a 2-minute video clip, I have a hard time taking you seriously. I'm sorry. Like that's
right. You're a couple of degrees away from saying the earth is flat.
Really, really close. And Candace keeps doing this thing. She keeps doing it with Charlie Kirk too, where she keeps doing this thing where she like makes a like a conjecture type statement. And she goes, we just know. Or we're not speculating. We know this.
That's what
she does all the time. It's the thing she did with the Emmanuel Macron thing. Like we just know she has a dick. we just know Brigitte Macron's a man. We just know. And like she'll point out all of these things that are true, like we're fatter than ever, our mental health is fucked up. Like all of those things are true, like the things that she said in that video. But then she has to have this like weird fucking fire and brimstone Christian explanation for why it's all true.
You know, she's like, okay, that's based. And you know why it's happening? Demons, obviously.
Yeah,
like,
go ahead. Pull up the next one, Bell. I don't even remember what the next one is. I don't even remember what the next one is. Go ahead and roll it when you're ready. She's losing it. She's fucking losing it.
We just know. We just know that he was.
We just know.
You sure about that? In one of the most egregious ways that I think I've ever seen.
This is the video.
It has made me lose faith in politics. It has made me fully lose faith in Trump. And my heart aches for the fact that he gave so much of his life to Trump and to politics. And they just.
This is what made you lose faith in Trump?
That is it. It serves us or it doesn't serve us, and we want to move on. And so here's a holiday, bro. If they try to give me a holiday, what is with them giving people a holiday after they kill them? Why is that a thing? You know what I mean?
Come on now, you expect me to believe that?
What about this boulevard? Anyways, let me knock it off. Like, they're going to give Charlie Kirk a boulevard. They already did. They did in Israel. They gave him freaking boulevard. It's like, as soon as they give you a boulevard and a holiday, they definitely killed you. Okay, there's no question. They killed you. There's no way. That's like their signature thing. It's like that's what they do. It's the Fed signature. It's how they sign off after they murder you. Holiday and a boulevard. And it's never on the nice side of town either. Like Charlie Kirk Boulevard is not going to be a nice side of town. Anyways, I will be.
Charlie Kirk Boulevard is not going to be a nice side of town. Holy shit.
That's what she does. She does it. She just said, we just know. We just know. We know that they killed him because they are giving him a holiday and they are giving him a street named after him. Candace.
I don't know. She wrote some shitty books, but she makes some really good points. Just kidding. I was talking about J.K. Rowling.
I know. I understand that you lost your friend. I can't imagine if Corey gets assassinated tomorrow by Israel, I will also be beside myself. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll turn into her. Maybe I would. How suspicious would I be? Yeah, if you just got shot tomorrow by a 30-06 that we don't really know is a 30-06.
My microphone explodes.
Oh God. Oh God, yeah, that's right. Everybody's a ballistics expert after Charlie Kirk's death.
Also, by the way, put it on the record for the show. Dan gave me this microphone, so
that is my microphone. I would like that back. Yeah. Okay. Are you saying if it explodes, I killed you? I've just waited the last. I don't know how long you've had it. Almost a year. I've just waited a year. I haven't hit the detonator yet. In fact, I have the remote right here. Candace.
Man. Oh, Candace.
I feel for her. I try to like her, but I'm starting to come back around to like. She's done this her whole career. She does this thing where she's whatever the most cool but controversial place to be is where Candace always lands. And I give her credit for that because she's really got her finger on the pulse of where that culture stands. Like she started as a lefty that hated the Bush administration. And then right after Obama, Trump comes along. She moves to the right, starts supporting Donald Trump. And now the cool thing to be is that conservative, even conservative Christian that doesn't like Donald Trump. You notice that? Like, that's kind of like the cool spot to be. That's where Nick Fuentes is. That's where so many of these folks on the original MAGA right are right now, where they're kind of turning on Trump, but they're still super America first.
That's true. That is interesting.
That's her entire career trajectory. That's what she's always done. I mean, credit to her for figuring that out and winning on that grift. But every time I try to like her, that's what she does. She turns to this place.
She had her show. I think she was on the Daily Wire, or just before she was on the Daily Wire, and she had Trump on her show, and she was like just simping for him to like try to be his VP. It was pretty wild.
And it helps that she's pretty and she's a minority and she's conservative. Like, these things all serve her well. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not hating on the business side of what she does. Obviously something's working. She gets a lot of views.
She does.
I don't hate on her for that, but it's just like, man, Candace, we're kind of starting to see your game here. We are. And at the same time,
sorry, that was an ADD thought, but where's Milo? I really thought he was going to pop up a lot more after Charlie Kirk.
He did.
He did for a minute, but then he just kind of faded away, didn't he?
Yeah. It's because he's a gay white guy. That's not cool anymore.
You're gay.
Oh, no, he's not gay anymore. That's right. He's not gay, right? He's
Right.
He gave up his gayness.
He lost
He sacrificed his gayness for the Bible. Who knows where he is now?
That's what I'm going to do.
Or did he go back to being gay? I don't know. Did he say, you're going to sacrifice your gayness for the Bible?
Yeah. Actually, obviously not. It doesn't work. I'm going to sacrifice my Bible for gayness.
Oh, Christ, the dildo's back.
I don't know yet. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Oh, shit, buddy. I got to dig a little deeper.
You got anything else? Last thing I have, actually, I have two quick mentions. One is that the Argentine midterms, maybe a lot of people don't care about this, went really, really well for Javier Milei.
Well, yeah.
Which was not set in stone as of about a week ago.
Oh, well, what happened, Dan? $40 billion got injected into their fucking economy.
I mean, the Argentinians haven't seen that yet.
No, but when you lower the inflation of your country from like 22% to 12%, or from 12% to like 4%, I think is what they actually did.
No, would you want the actual numbers?
Yeah.
Try 200% to 30-something%.
Is that what it was?
Yes. It was that bad. Which is, by the way, 30-some% still way too high. Way too high. But way better, obviously, than 200-something%.
We're bitching about like something between 10 and like 6 when it was really bad here in America. And
But honestly, that should kind of put it in perspective for you, right? Because that 6%, that was huge. Like, that hurt a lot of people. Imagine it being 200%.
That would be insane.
30-something% even now. But the midterms went well for Javier Milei. I'm still curious to see where this goes. And the other thing is Kamala Harris.
She thinks she can take another crack at it for president.
Floating a 2028 run. I will say, I hope she throws her hat in the ring for entertainment purposes only. Right? We need more Kamala drops.
Now, what people perhaps had never seen before can be seen to know what's possible.
Right. Thank you.
We have to stay woke.
Okay, and then I have one thing for us. About the crybaby in chief because of the Reagan-esque ad in Canada.
But that's Trump, though. Everybody, even his supporters know he's petty.
Because of their serious misrepresentation of the facts and hostile act, I am increasing the tariff on Canada by 10% over and above what they are paying now. They made an ad about me that I didn't like.
By the way, the ad was remarkably inaccurate.
Dude, you want to talk about a fucking grift? The biggest snowflakes in the goddamn world ran a campaign talking shit about snowflakes, and they got in charge, and now they're just like,
oh, how dare you say that about the Queen? No, I know. We've been talking about that for a while, though. Like, I'm not, again, MAGA is not something you can throw under a broad blanket anymore. Maybe it never was. I faction MAGA off into at least two groups. One of them is Trump is dear leader, and everything he does is perfect, wonderful. We love him. He can never do anything wrong. And then the other half is actually America first. I am okay with the latter. I don't have an issue with those people. But yeah, that former part is the snowflake part. Anybody that says anything bad about our dear leader is a mean, evil person. They should be canceled and deported. If you're Katie Miller, which is us, I guess. I guess we should be deported.
Katie Miller needs to take a long walk off a short pier.
We should check our. We should check our. We should check our what's the word I'm looking for? Citizenship status. We better make sure we were actually born here. I better go talk to my mom.
That our T's are crossed and our I's are dotted.
Yeah, please tell me I wasn't born in Windsor. Please.
God damn it, Mom and Dad. Why did you decide to take a trip to the fucking Canada when you were in your third trimester? Whatever.
That's the word you were looking for. It's that hat.
I'm the captain.
Got anything else?
Halloween costume for now. No.
Shall we end this spooky Halloween episode? Corey doesn't have any TikToks today. I feel like the show went well even without him. Maybe they're not necessary anymore. Maybe they're government bloat.
Yeah, I guess the only one I find a really good one.
Corey and I, we promise you, we do have some stuff coming down the pipeline that we've had to put on hold. But we're determined that in 2026, there's gonna be some stuff. That's all.
There's gonna be some stuff, some things.
Tell the people where they can find us, Corey.
Okay.
You got it? You gonna be all right?
I think it's a very rude introduction.
Libservative Podcast is found on all social media and podcast platforms. Their website is libservativeshow.com. We can be found at Libservative on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Instagram and Twitter at LibservativePod. Our TikTok videos can be found at Libservative Podcast, and you can reach out directly at libservativepod@gmail.com. Subscribe today.
If you're new to the show, share it with a friend. Obviously, these podcasts, these shows, they spread best through word of mouth. If you liked what you heard,
best.
Share it with one friend. What did I say?
You said spread best.
Oh, okay. I was just making sure. Like Stormy Daniels' legs. And her fucking pant size. God damn. You know what else I noticed about that video? I think the weight on her face is actually making the gap in her teeth larger. And she probably, I don't know what she eats, but it's probably a little bit of that going on too. Anyway, Rebel the Body Snatcher on the ones and twos. He as always has been Corey Walsh.
He's been Dan Griffin.
It's been Libservative Intellectual Idiots fostering political and cultural literacy and the world's smartest internet show. And until next time, we are out of here.
The great fundamental issue now before our people. We, the people, cannot turn back. must leave, or else the fight would not be made at all.